My name is Marie Coyle and otherwise known as MadIrishArtist.com.
Fantastic. Oh, we'll tweet the link. So, yeah, what does that mean? How come you've named yourself Mad Irish Artist? Where does that come from?
Well, the name itself, funnily enough, I was on a BBC programme highlighting personality disorders and creativity and the link. And afterwards, somebody hacked into my social media and I had my name and underneath I had written Irish Artist, and that was all fine. And after that, somebody went in and wrote literally Mad Irish Artist. So before, I think a few years ago, I would have really taken that really hard and I would have oh my God, that was awful. But this time I thought, you know what? Why not use this to my advantage? So I thought about it and then I went on and it turned out nobody had Mad Irish Artist domain. So it was all mine.
I love it. I mean, that's just such a kind of fuck you moment, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like a proper sort of, I'm going to own this.
Exactly. I'm going to own it. I'm the only one who's allowed to call me mad.
And I have to say, your paintings are amazing. I've just had a look at them and we've recorded some clips. So I'm hoping that in this interview, while you're talking, we can show some of your paintings, if that's okay.
Brilliant.
But yeah, just really fine art and really beautifully done. And yeah, it reminded me a little bit of the illustrations that I used to get in these Herman Hesse books that I read when I was a kid or a teenager. Just really natural. So where does that come from? You've obviously been trained in this at some point.
Self-taught, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I left school, I did graphic design for about a year and I hated it. It just wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I lost my confidence and everything in arts and stuff like that. So I veered away from that. And I didn't really go near it again because I just felt like I was a bit of a failure in the art world. But eventually, after a lot of therapy and an awful lot of hard work, I realized that I wasn't really a failure and my art should be out there. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to show it off. So I faced my biggest fear of humiliation and I put myself up there with my first exhibition just after COVID. And it was the turning point then. Before that kind of happened, I wanted to paint, but I wanted my own style and I was constantly searching. All I knew was I liked to get lost for hours and hours and hours and not think about anything else. So I remember I always used to like pointillism because it took so long and you could just get lost in it. So for me, this kind of came out of that. The way I paint as well is very textured, and that came from my youngest son, who has a very rare syndrome. He doesn't see things the way we see things, so he feels things. He's very sensory. And he came in one day while I was painting, and he started to feel my painting. And I realized I need to make people see these not just with their eyes. So I wanted people to want to touch them when they seen them. And if you own one, you can touch it yourself.
So there's something about the process of creating the art that's really important for you, as you're saying, getting lost in the process. And there's obviously something that's important as an artist about the final product. Which of those is more important to you?
I think they're both as important as each other, definitely. And there's a lot of fear as I'm doing it. But it's when I finish the final product and I know I'm happy with it, that's when the fear goes. And that's something that really helps me grow as a person.
And is that a fear of kind of putting yourself out there and showing people, something about who you are?
Yeah, the fear that it won't be good enough. The fear that I'd never be good enough. And I've come to realize that we're all good enough no matter what.
And you're exhibiting at a personality disorders conference, which is quite an unusual gig, I imagine, for an artist. So how has it gone down with the people that have seen the work over the last couple of days?
It's gone down absolutely amazing. So many people have been able to connect with it. People have come in and told me what they see in my paintings and how they look at it. And it's just been so overwhelmingly amazing. It really has. Perfect place, I think, to show it, really. And I want to show the professionals as well, because there is quite a lot of stigma around personality disorders. And a lot of it does come actually from the professionals as well. So I have come across that quite a lot in my time. And I and our group, we want to show that we're not just a personality disorder. We're people and we have talents. And so we want these professional people and everybody that thinks it was like that to look at us and say, wow, there's something beautiful inside these people. And if the only way to do that is through creativity, they'll know it's the best way.
But it's something about communication, isn't it? Because if you come to this sort of academic event, then there's lots of ways of communicating stuff to each other. We can talk, we can write. A lot of these guys publish papers, which are very hard for most of us to understand. There's something really accessible about art, painting, the kind of creativity you've got in there. And it's almost, I don't know, the quality of it is measured in a different way, I think, to what you would have in a normal kind of art establishment. It's something about the story behind the piece that's really key, isn't it?
It definitely is. And it's about showing what really is inside, and the heart of a person comes out. And my heart comes out in my paintings. And other people then, I don't think you can help but see that. When someone opens your heart to them, humans, we will see it. And I think that's where the connection is.
So do a quick advert finally. If anybody sees your paintings and the video and likes what they see, what should they do?
They should go on Google madirishArtist.com or .uk, and or they can email admin@madirishartist.com to get in touch with me.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing. Brilliant.
Thank you.